All right, I got 3 Argos fragrances here. I'm just going to do a really quick rundown of them, rate them really quick, and give you my ranking of them as they stand with me. Now, I bought these with my own money. I'm not sponsored by anybody in Argos or anything at all. I literally bought these on my own because I'm a fragrance enthusiast. And I have 3 here, and I'm going to show you all of them at the same time, just to give you guys kind of what we're going to talk about here. These are very nice fragrances. They have paintings on the front. I don't know the rationale but behind which ones I ordered. Like, I didn't know one was going to have paintings, one wasn't. I just ordered these and they came this way. The first one I got didn't have the painting. This is Triumph of Bacchus. I'm going to go ahead and show you all about Triumph of Bacchus really quick. I'm going to kind of blast through these guys. If you want to learn about Argos fragrances, just go check them out. There's a lot of information on the World Wide Web there. I don't want to regurgitate. I know you have very limited attention spans, so I'm going to give you this real quick. White peach, dominant, sticky, very, very sweet, sticky, kind of medicinal. Vanilla's got to be really at the forefront here, and you get this white peach, and it's just a sticky, very gooey kind of fragrance that just is very pronounced, and it stays with you, and it projects, and it's on your clothes forever, and I really do like it, but it is the lowest standing of all of the Argos for me for what I got. As the first pick, I was skeptical of their house, okay? I almost thought, okay, that's what they're capable of. I'm kind of like not too into getting another one of these. I'm glad that I got more of them because each one I got, I liked more and more and more, and they actually knocked this one out of the park. Like, so the way I say to like people, if I would recommend it to you, if I wouldn't even rebuy this bottle and get another replacement of it, then I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, in my opinion. You niche heads out there probably would not, you'd probably get over this one pretty quick. I don't think a lot of the niche heads out there are going to like fall over head over heels for this. Fragrance enthusiasts, if you don't have like anything like this, there is nothing else that I smelled like this. For me personally, it definitely isn't one for me. Probably because of the reception that I also get when I wear this. Not a lot of people like it. Haven't gotten any good responses by this one, but I personally enjoy wearing it. It's not like I don't, but it's the lowest tier of what I got from Argos, especially when you compare it to these other two. So this one, Triumph of Bacchus, is extremely hyped, has a cool name, really great story, awesome art, smells good too, guys. I'm just saying, as the potential for this house goes, this is not the highest powered one. I wouldn't give it like a crazy rating. I'd say this is a solid 8 out of 10. It's very, very good. And I think as a niche fragrance goes for its price, it's worth it, especially when you factor in the crazy presentation and the effort they put into giving you a very luxury item with a deep, detailed story. They got the notes on here. They got, so your fragrance comes in here, guys, like this. And the outside box is literally like a cool Greek painting. So that's for Sacred Flame, right? And if you look around the box, it's like this crazy painting. And they're all based on Greek lore, mythology. It's just really nice, man. They really put it in, like they put in work here. And I think that extra mile is worth a couple extra bucks that these are. To be honest, I think they compete with like Nasamato, the 30 ml bottles for around the same price range, and not many companies are doing that. They're out there, but that's the most well-known to me, that Nasamato is probably competing with this, and these guys are kind of, you know, jockeying for power in the market. So this is a very interesting fragrance. I don't have anything else like it. I've never smelled the clone of it, so I don't know how close the clones get. It would be really cool to have a flanker of this. I think down the road, I want to try the X-Straight, and it would be interesting to try a flanker, but I would not repurchase this personally. It's very good, but I personally won't re-up on that. And now I'll show you two that I would re-up on. As soon as I'm done with these, I'm getting the big bottle of one of them, and I would get another little bottle of the second place one right here. We got Fall of Phaeton. There's a guy just like falling down, and it's painted, hand painted on there. You can't really see it too crazy, but it's because I have this small little broke man bottle. When I get the big bottles, I think the paintings will look a lot better. They're pretty nice in hand. Like, you can kind of see what's going on here. Phaeton jumped on one of, I think, Helios's chariot and tried to fly it. And then Zeus, I don't know if Zeus struck him down or he just like fell out of the chariot and lost control. But basically, it's him falling out of the sky. And it's kind of his story about how he was daring but failed inevitably. So that's why it's the fall of Phaeton. But the actual juice in this fragrance, besides the cool story and the really awesome concept behind it, it is the most niche of the fragrances I picked up from them. And when I say that, it is the most challenging, the most interesting, the most daring, albeit it does still have that proprietary kind of sweetness that these all tend to follow. They all have a similar kind of relatable sweetness, and it's in the vanilla direction. It's in this heavy, dense, sticky kind of vanillic direction, albeit it is modified slightly, but I can detect this theme throughout all three of these, that it is present and it is there. And it has in this too, but this one in the tops and mids, much more daring, I'd say. It's got this dried component, this almost like dying plant material. I guess that's patchouli. It immediately reminded me of Pardon, and kind of how Pardon has that sweetness, bitterness, the same kind of thing. But I'd say this has a little bit more, well, a lot more going on than Pardon does. And I know that's a crazy thing to say, but you know, if you guys have smelled Nasamato's Pardon, this one reminds me of it. But that's the closest thing I could think of when I smelled this. Immediately, I thought of Pardon. Like, I don't know if that's just my bias, but it's got to be the patchouli they use in here and some of the supporting elements that they use in here. But you could go read the notes. I don't really want to get caught up with those too much. What I get is like this dry, wet concrete smell, this sweetness that they rock with. It's very attractive. There's some freshness in here. It's just got a lot of different layers as you're wearing it. It even has some bitterness, kind of the same way that Pardon has, that sweet, bitter, moody kind of feel, dry kind of smell. Very nice, guys. It's actually still on my hoodie from I sprayed it on yesterday. 2 sprays like this before I went to bed. So yeah, this is a fragrance that I could wear right before I go to bed. Like, it's still got that cozy, moody, nighttime kind of feel to it. But I'd say that this one is very, very interesting from them. Probably the most interesting of them all that I've smelled so far. Out of the 3, for sure, number 2 spot. Maybe in time I will like it more than number 1, but number 1 is Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame is really, really nice, guys. So Sacred Flame has like a beginning, a middle, and the middle and the end kind of become hard to decipher what part we got to. But it starts off with this very busy, complex, but perfectly so. When you first spray this, it's not actually the fragrance yet. You're getting something else. You're getting a picture painted. There is some smokiness, like burning leaves. Like, I get this burning leaves, and it's got that proprietary kind of sweet, sticky density to it. And it has this vanilla that kind of rules throughout. And the vanilla, the way it's done in this one, with some of the other components, as we're drying down, the thing that I'm smelling that's reminding me of, it's not a clone of it. It has nothing to do with it. But the closest thing I could explain it to you guys is Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. I get like a very similar vibe between the vanilla kind of use in here and that presentation of how this presents, and Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. So that's a very common one that a lot of you guys probably have had access to and smelled. If you do love that one, this is like a niche version of that. I know that's technically a niche fragrance or whatever, but this is like an actual, like, more daring version of something like that. So if you like that kind of vanilla, that's this deal right here. And I actually had somebody like complimenting me yesterday when I was wearing this, and they were like, "Oh, that smells really good. What is that?" And I was like 4 feet away from them, and they were like, "Yeah, it's really nice, like masculine vanilla fragrance. Usually vanilla could come off like, you know, I don't like that on guys, or I don't like that smell of, like, some people don't like the smell of vanilla, which is crazy to me. But this one, hard to dislike. It smells really great, guys. And there's like a lot of extra stuff going on. A couple of you guys and the subscribers in my comments, you also agreed that Sacred Flame was like your favorite one. So, you know, I definitely agree with you. This is probably the most mass appealing one, but it still has a challenging, interesting, kind of like well thought out and balanced component to it. And I really just like it. The narratives and stuff and the beautiful bottle aside, if I was just wearing this out there, I'm confident wearing this, especially in the cooler weather. It just fits me really well. And it's that kind of like borderline between, hey, look at me, I have like an interesting fragrance on, and also like I just smell really good. And this one's really cool. In the first hour, hour and a half, you're going to get some of that opening that happens still on me. There's just a lot going on there. It's really hard to decipher to you guys and tell you what it is, because they just pack so much into one spray. They really just pack a ton of notes into one spray. They are just super dense with these, and they're very generous with their presentation. This is not a minimalistic house by any means. You could tell from all of the detail and all of the extra miles they go, and all the pop and the bang that this thing has, and even the boxes. And it's true all the way to the core of this fragrance. What they put in it, there's a ton of stuff. They're super heavy on the hands with it. And if you like that kind of thing, this is it. If you're more minimalistic, you enjoy minimalism, you might not enjoy this brand. You just might not, because there's so much more going on. Some people might say it's gaudy or tacky or whatever. I heard one guy questioning the Eye of Horus on top and, going on about it. But, logic aside, it is beautiful. There's like a raised gem on it. I mean, it's awesome. The cap's heavy. I can lift these by the cap and they don't fall off. That whole thing is well thought out. The atomizer's like literally as good as Dior Sauvage's atom. Like it smells, guys, it smells really good. It's got a little bit of a challenge to it, like something natural smelling, like something real. There's florals in it too. There's smokiness. It's very difficult for someone out there to explain this to you. Even if they read you the notes, you will not be ready for what this smells like when you smell it. All right. It's not as smoky like as I expected it was going to be. I thought, since its name is Sacred Flame, and I've heard people talk about it, saying it's got this like smokiness to it. That's more on the back burner. I don't really get that too much. If you want something that's sweet and smoky, vanillic, I think something down like you might buy the Sacred Flame thinking it's something like Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace, and it's not like that at all. So if you go into this, just go into it well informed. Hopefully this video helped you guys, and I'll give you a quick synopsis on what happened in the video, just in case you jumped around. Bacchus, last place. Triumph of Bacchus is in the last place. Fall of Phaeton, second place. And I would get this little bottle again. Bacchus is last place, and I would not get this again. The little bottle, the big bottle. I wouldn't get this version of Bacchus again. I would try the X-Straight as my last attempt at that kind of brand, that kind of offering from the brand. So I would just try one or two of those next. And then this Sacred Flame, I would get the big bottle. When I run out of this, I want to get the big one of this, because I do really think that this is one of those kind of like a lifetime surprise find that I actually really do enjoy from them. So yeah, guys, hit me up in the comments, like, subscribe. We've been doing really good. By the end of this kind of time, by the time you see this video, I'll probably have 500. I see 495 on the screen today, as of today. So let's get it. Things are going really well, staying real busy, and I'm enjoying it all the way. So peace. Thank you, guys.